Good morning. This is a little bit dry. There we go. It's from Job chapter 27, verses 3 to 6. As long as I have life within me, the breath of God in my nostrils, my lips will not speak wickedness, and my tongue will utter no deceit. I will never admit you are in the right. Till I die, I will not deny my integrity. I will maintain my righteousness and never let go of it. My conscience will not reproach me as long as I live. Amen. And this is Matthew 12, verses 33 to 37. Make a tree good, and its fruit will be good. Or make a tree bad, and its fruit will be bad, for a tree is recognized by its fruit. You brood of vipers, how can you who are evil say anything good? For out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. The good man brings good things out of the good stored up in him, and the evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in him. But I tell you that men will have to give account on the day of judgment for every careless word they have spoken. For by your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned. Amen. I'm afraid there's a backstory to this, of which I'm quite happy to speak, as it happens. I'm even rather proud of it. Curiously, I spent, how long was it now? 7 months, I think. Am I right? I may be wrong, but anyway, a jolly long time. At Her Majesty's pleasure, at 4 jails, but always on remand. In my past, because of the broken marriage, I kept leaving England. So there I was, as one does, piling through the ferry at Calais, Dover to go to Calais, and then off somewhere in France, probably, I dare say. And I was arrested for allegedly making a bomb hoax, for which subsequently I waited for Crown Court at Canterbury in September, Monday the 3rd, many months later, and His Honour Judge O'Sullivan said, never mind his funny clothes, but as far as we know, and believe me, the prosecution people would have found out, this gentleman has a clean record. It was a hung jury, 11 for acquitting me and 1 against. Anyway, I was acquitted. It was an off-duty firearms police officer, and I'm dressed in my funny old Christian tunic, monk's habit, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if I had a staff, I may have done. Usually do. And my bags. And they thought, here's a funny one, let's feel his collar. And I absolutely knew if I went to magistrates at 3 months, that 3 old biddies would convict me. And then I'd have a bomb hoax conviction on my record. And getting unconvicted, quite frankly, is virtually impossible. So I knew I had to fight this. So that is one occasion where the jolly old English system, in my estimation, worked. Of course I didn't make a bomb hoax. I mean, it's absurd. I've been in and out of that port at Dover. At the time, I was in and out all the time, several times a year. So I knew people there. What am I going to say? What? Oh, please. So I absolutely always knew. But the interesting thing for me, actually, was I then spent, it was over 6 months on remand in these 4 prisons, HMP Elmley, HMP Brixton, HMP Lewis, I think, but also even HMP at Belmarsh, because you go to court and then there's lockdown on your prison and you get hoiked off to another prison. Brilliant. So a most interesting experience, and those two passages were part of my defense, if you like. The passage from Job, saying essentially, my integrity matters. What I say matters. And then much more powerfully from Matthew, our words matter. This little vessel here, it's in the letter of James in the New Testament, is a very powerful instrument. I mean, it can incite people to do all sorts of stuff. The analogy is made of a rudder of a huge ship, and that small rudder can alter the course of the whole vessel. Well, that is exactly what this little thing does through our words. But on Judgment Day, then we'll see. And lies do find you out. Being economical is the truth. Okay, there are occasions when, I mean, I'm inclined to wear my heart on my sleeve. So, personally, there's nothing in my life of which I'm ashamed, especially this thing. I mean, I'm going through my old papers. That was in 2007, for heaven's sake. So quite a while ago. I spent much of that year 3 square meals a day. Well, really 1 square meal. I actually quite enjoyed myself in prison. You meet all sorts of interesting people. And curiously, many people turning to God, especially Brixton. I've got the papers here now. There was a priest, and Brixton, of course, had a lot of black people in there. And believe it or not, we all sang Amazing Grace in the chapel and so on and so on. And this priest he devised a sort of little play so we could get out of ourselves and do something. And then the interesting sort of interactions between people, and I found it very interesting, actually. So I have known the inside of 4 English jails. I mean, I dare say if I ever ran to be a politician, some journalist would have dug that out anyway, quite frankly. But I'm completely not ashamed of what happened. Amongst other things, I was accused of looking like Lord Bath, who's died now. So I assume that's apropos my sort of behaviour, that I behave in that kind of manner to people, which actually, as far as I'm concerned, is a huge compliment. I sort of bow when I speak to people. I say, cheerio, and I'll make a little bow and almost click my heels, not Germanic-wise, but I don't know. I do stuff like, I mean, it's just part of my nature. It's like opening doors for ladies, all that stuff. I can't help myself. I'm just an old-fashioned sort of fellow. Right, so there we go. There's one for the record. Cheerio. Oh, I was going to play this. This is the going out music. It's rather nice. I love my music. No one watches these films anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But if anyone would care to follow that one up, good luck to them. It's all past and dusted. I've got a clean record. Thank you very much. I did not, never would have thought of, never could have made a bum hoax. It is not a nice thing to do. It is frightening people unnecessarily. Anyway, my granny's watching. I couldn't. She's beautiful. That's actually great-grandmother, I think. The highest one.